Finning International in Vancouver has undergone a dramatic leadership change. I met up with Rebecca Schalm, Senior Vice President and Chief Human Resources Officer at Finning, to talk about HR's role in those changes and the new culture that is emerging as a result of those changes. What's been the role of senior leaders?
I joined the organization about 2.5 years ago, and one of the very first things I did was really establish a charter, key principles around how we're going to manage talent in the organization. And one of those was an enterprise view of talent and shared accountability amongst the executive for global talent. So rather than operating as individual business units and making decisions in that way, what we did was start to really integrate. So we started to have talent discussions on a very regular basis. We do a call every 6 weeks where all we talk about is talent. We do a very rigorous regular talent review cycle, and we just have really integrated conversations about people into our ongoing business reviews. So as we were starting to talk about where were the opportunities, what changes were we going to need to make, we were able to do that as a collective executive team. And the consequence of that is that we've really had an opportunity to leverage our key talent where it can be most leveraged in the organization. So we've been able to take high potentials or key skill sets and move them from smaller business units into places where they can have more impact. So we've seen increased international assignments, some promotions. We've more aggressively recruited from outside around key skill sets, and we've done that as a team rather than sort of HR trying to drive something in the organization. So it's been a great partnership, and we've had, I think, tremendous success as a result of that.
What role has HR played in the transition?
I'm very fortunate that within the 3 business units I have very strong HR leaders who really sit at the table with their executives and participate as members of the business team. And so we've really tried to seamlessly integrate talent into our ongoing business, where it isn't sort of that thing we do, at the 20 minutes at the end of the meeting, but it's really, we talk about those things just as a course of doing business.
What does leadership at Finning look like now?
Well, everybody is in transition, so I would say that probably over the last 18 months, 50%, if not more, of our leaders, our very senior leaders, have new roles. Either expanded responsibilities, or they're in different locations doing different jobs. We have people who have been promoted. So we are in a situation where there is a lot of learning that's going on. So being able to support each other through that and be patient as people gain mastery. So that's been, there's a challenge associated with having a lot of new people in new roles, in that we are still trying to figure some things out, but it also allows you to have some flexibility and rethink how you're doing things, so that we've done some things where we've created a different, some slightly different structures and some slightly different roles to really try to leverage our talent against our key business priorities. So I think it's allowed us to do some things differently and to really engage them in the opportunity to create their own future, as we would say.
You use the term post-war for talent. What do you mean by that?
Well, we've all been worried about what's going to happen when the baby boomers all leave the workforce and retire. And there's always been a lot of focus within organizations on building for the future, talent development pipeline. But we have been sitting, for quite a long time. I think, I can't remember when the McKinsey article came out, 92, probably something like that, where we've been anticipating this great exodus. And it's been very interesting in our organization, I would say, over the last 2 years, we've really come through that baby boomer retirement onslaught. And what we found in our organization is that if you just look at the average age of our leadership team, it's dropped pretty considerably. And just by way of example, there are 8 members of the executive. 4 of us are under the age of 50. And historically, they probably would have been all over the age of 50. So it's been an interesting transition, and we've got a lot of younger, less experienced, obviously, leaders occupying key roles.